Listening, fill in the blanks.
Let's start.
The first discovery of dinosaurs in Alaska was actually made by a geologist called Robert Liscombe in 1961, says Fiorillo. Unfortunately, Robert was killed in a rockslide the following year, so his discoveries languished in a warehouse for the next 2 decades. In the mid-1980s, managers at the warehouse stumbled upon the box containing Liscombe's fossils during a spring clean. The bones were sent to the United States Geological Survey, where they were identified as belonging to Edmontosaurus, a duck-billed hadrosaur. Today, paleontologists roam this frozen treasure trove searching for remains locked away in the permafrost.
Rewards are worth the effort. While studying teeth belonging to the relatively intelligent Truden theropod, Fiorillo discovered the teeth of the Alaskan Truden were double the size of those of its southern counterpart. Even though the morphology of individual teeth resembled that of Truden, the size was significantly larger than the Truden found in warmer climates. Fiorillo says that the reason lies in the Truden's large eyes, which allowed it to hunt at dawn and at dusk, times when other dinosaurs would have struggled to see. In the polar conditions of Cretaceous Alaska, where the sun would all but disappear for months on end, this proved a useful talent. Every species has its own colony of microbes, called a microbiome, and these microbes vary not only between species but also between individuals and within different parts of each individual. What is amazing is that while the number of human cells in the average person is about 30 trillion, the number of microbial ones is higher, about 39 trillion. At best, Jung informs us, we are only 50% human. Indeed, some scientists even suggest we should think of each species and its microbes as a single unit, dubbed a holobiont.
In his young days, Brash enjoyed the good life, playing golf and sailing, and spending some months traveling through Europe, having a leisurely holiday. He worked for a time at Meijer department stores before joining the family business in 1949, where he quickly began to put his stamp on things. In one of his first management decisions, he diverged from his father's sense of frugal aesthetics by recarpeting the old man's office while he was away. After initially complaining of his extravagance, his father grew to accept the change and gave his son increasing responsibility in the business.
He stood down as executive chairman of Brass in 1988, but under the new management debt became a problem, and in 1990 for the banks called in administrators. The company was sold to Singaporean interests and continued to trade until 1998, when it again went into administration. The Brash name then disappeared from the retail world. Brash was greatly disappointed by the collapse and the eventual disappearance of the company he had run for so long, but it was not long before he invested in a restructured Ullens music business. In each human, there are microbes that live only in the stomach, the mouth or the armpit, and by and large they do so peacefully. So, bad microbes are just microbes out of context. Microbes that sit contentedly in the human gut, where there are more microbes than there are stars in the galaxy, can become deadly if they find their way into the bloodstream. These communities are constantly changing too. The right hand shares just 1/6 of its microbes with the left hand, and, of course, we are surrounded by microbes. Every time we eat, we swallow 1,000,000 microbes in each gram of food. We are continually swapping microbes with other humans, pets, in the world at large.
Monday mornings have a double helping of stress for the working body as it makes a rapid transition from sleep to activity, and from the relaxing weekend to the pressures of work. When people get up, their blood pressure and heart rate go up and there are hormonal changes in their bodies, Willich explained. All these things can have an adverse effect in the blood system and increase the risk of a clot in the arteries, which will cause a heart attack. When people return to work after a weekend off, the pace of their life changes. They have a higher workload, more stress, more anger, and more physical activity, said Willich. We need to know how these events cause changes in the body before we can understand if they cause heart attacks. One way the study of epigenetics is revolutionizing our understanding of biology is by revealing a mechanism by which the environment directly impacts on genes. Studies of animals, for example, have shown that when a rat experiences stress during pregnancy, it can cause epigenetic changes in a fetus that lead to behavioral problems as the rodent grows up. Other epigenetic processes appear to occur randomly, while others are normal, such as those that guide embryonic cells as they become heart, brain, or liver cells, for example.
Evidence suggests that a key step is to develop a policy on bullying, saying clearly what is meant by bullying, and giving explicit guidelines on what will be done if it occurs, what record will be kept, who will be informed, what sanctions will be employed. The policy should be developed through consultation, over a period of time, not just imposed from the head teacher's office. Pupils, parents and staff should feel they have been involved in the policy, which needs to be disseminated and implemented effectively.
Like, share, subscribe the channel, and press the bell icon for further updates.